If you say the words, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I've lost the weight. I'll be happy when I win the lottery. I'll be happy when he marries me or she marries me. I'll happy when they conform to this. I'll be happy when something. We're waiting on situational circumstance to be happy. I can almost guarantee that is one of the things that is actually making you unhappy, by saying you'll be happy when. Then I'll be happy, right? All we need to do to change this around and actually make you think about further happiness is switch the question. Now, what I mean by that is very simple. You say, I'll be happy when. All you need to do to discover further happiness is ask yourself the further question. Once you've said that, I'll be happy when I've lost the weight, the question that you follow up with is, okay, then what? Think about it. You'll be happy when you've lost the weight. Okay, you've lost the weight. Then what? Well, then I'll be happy. No, then what? Because you won't be happy. Because what will happen is you'll get too comfortable and then you'll put the weight back on. Or what do you think? Oh, most people will be, oh, I'll think about that when I come to it. No, this is why we are unhappy, because we're not thinking ahead. We're just thinking about one scenario and if it happens. When in reality, what we need to do is say, right, I'll be happy when I've lost the weight, but then what? That's the question that's going to really open up your mind and make you think deeper and more logically and emotionally at the same time, because at the end of the day, we operate 80% emotion-based, 20% logic-based. But the fact is, the reason why we stay unhappy is because we feel we won't be happy until. But if we actually ask, then what? We'll start to think further ahead. Maybe you haven't thought that far ahead. Maybe then what is a matter of, I don't know. Okay, well then you do not know if that thing is going to make you happy, because you think it is. It's an idea. It's not a strategy. It's not a result. It's a fucking idea. So you say to yourself, I'll be happy when I've won the lottery. Right, well, then what? Some of you talk about what you do if you won the lottery. Like, you'd pay your mortgage off, you'd give money to your friends and family, you'd go on holiday, you'd buy what you wanted to buy. Then what? Okay, you lose the weight, you go to get down to your ideal weight, and you manage to do it in 16 weeks, 20 weeks, 6 months. Then what? You've starved yourself, you've done it even faster, you've done a 12-week shred or transformation, you feel amazing you've been in the best shape of your life. Then what? See, this is why we're struggling, because we're only thinking of one thing, whereas we need to be thinking about the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Because guess what? The goal is always to keep the goal. I'll say that again in case you missed it. The goal is always to keep the goal. Because if we don't do that, then we procrastinate, we overthink, we think about speed too much as well. Or how can I quickly get this? If I got this, then I'll be happy, I just need to get this now. I'm going on holiday soon, I need to get this. And it's coming up for a new year and I need to get it. I'm behind such and such, so much further ahead, and I feel shit and I'm crap, I need to get it quick. Yes, success loves speed. And it's impressive when somebody does something fast. But actually, if we think about it, there's a phrase that Navy SEALs use, and it's that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And what that means is that when we go slow and we take our time with things and we get smoother at the journey, we get smoother in the technique, we get smoother in our approach, we actually end up going faster and we go further. And yes, anybody can get a quick result. Who can actually keep the result? Who can keep going? The fastest way to lose weight is slowly. A good friend of mine, Chris Tibbetts, taught me that. You should go out and check him out if you haven't already. The guy's lost over 100 kilos. And how did he do it? Because he lost the weight slowly. And you need to understand this in your own life, that slow is smooth and smooth is fast. We have to be willing to be slow, to be a bit shit at the start, to be maybe even the worst. Once a month I get together with a group of people in a mastermind, a business mastermind, and I am one of the lowest earners in the room. I am one of the guys who hasn't achieved sometimes even half of what the other guys have. And sometimes I feel small, but in a good way. See, because comparison, they say, is the thief of joy, but in actuality, what if comparison could be the seed of opportunity? It depends on how you see it. You can compare yourself to someone else and go, oh, I'm shit. They're so much further ahead. They make me feel shit. You make it look so easy, Luke. Or you could actually say, I wonder how they did it. I wonder how much time and effort's gone into that. I wonder what strategy they use. I wonder what life hack I could implement in my life to help me get results further and faster than I'm currently getting. Because success does leave clues. But we can't be continuing to hang around people who either drag us down or maybe negative. We can't continue to be hanging around people who drag us on the drink, who drag us on the sniff, who drag us into bad habits and expect to be fucking further ahead in our life. We need to be hanging around and investing time, energy, and yes, money, because we value what we invest in. If we pay fucking attention. And I say this all the time. The greatest things in my life, the greatest results have usually came, the most expansive results, if you will, have came from when I've paid some fucking money. Because guess what? When you pay money, you pay attention. And being a fucking cheapskate in this world does not work. And you got to think about this whole idea that it's not that you're unhappy because you don't have the thing. You're unhappy because you're not learning how to be a happier person. You're not learning about what happiness really is. At the end of it, progress is happiness. Feeling like you're going somewhere. The reason why we have an epidemic of ill mental and physical health is because people feel like they're going fucking nowhere. But the fact is, a lot of people are going somewhere. It's just they're failing to realize it. They're failing to recognize it. They don't have the skill set and the mindset to be able to recognize when they're doing okay. They don't have the skill set to be able to look at something and say, well, that wasn't very good. How can I do better next time? People don't often have the ability to share their wins and share their ideas and share their positivity because everyone around them wants to bring them fucking down. Because the world is a very negative place. 80% of the population are living in fear. Fear and scarcity and self-doubt and worry and overwhelm and anxiety and depression. Yes, we're in an epidemic, but there are people out there who are willing to help, who are willing to have a different narrative, who are willing to tell a different story, willing to lead from the front and be different to others. But the question is, are you willing to listen? Are you willing to lead like that person? Are you willing to follow at first and adopt a new strategy and a new way of thinking? Because you can't be continuing to think and act and operate the same fucking way you always do and expect different results. That, according to Albert Einstein, the smartest man who ever lived, is the definition of insanity. So I know I've said a lot here, but if you feel like your time is now for changing your lifestyle, changing your mind, changing your body, changing your approach to a healthier way of living, then send me a DM, a message. Send me a message, reach out. Or even if it's not me, if somebody else you follow online who's positive, inspiring, uplifting, encouraging, supportive, send them a message because they don't know. We don't know. Coaches like me don't have an idea unless you ask. We can assume and presume, but that's often a path to not great conversations. A great conversation is when you put your hand up and say, I'm very interested in speaking to you further. I'm very interested in moving forward with my life. What have you got to offer? I'm very interested. How can I connect with you? Who do you know who can help me? Start asking questions. Be more interested. Be curious. Curiosity is an invitation to magnificent results. But most of us are just too pessimistic. That's a load of shit. We're judgmental before we even know anything about things. We judge it based on how silly it might look to others, how daft we may feel in the process of it, without even thinking, oh, maybe there's a seed of opportunity there somewhere. I'll see you on the next one.